G'day, guys. Welcome to the Thunder from Down Under podcast. I'm your host, Graham Solomon. And before I introduce our special guest today, remember, if you're on Facebook, smash the like button, hit the heart button, give us some love, and go to the Graham Solomon Thunder from Down Under YouTube channel and subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you get notified when we go live, like now with our special guest. Now, strap yourself in. We've got a special guest today. He has been in the business for decades, investing. He's done wholesaling, creative finance. He specialises in all things like lease options. He's an educator. He's one of the best around as a sales coach, and he's an author. And we'll talk about some of his material during the podcast. He is the one and only Claude Diamond. Welcome, Claude. Thanks for coming on. Yep, that's you. You're the one.
Thank you. I've never been to us. I've never been to Australia before. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, well, that's it. You've been beamed live around the world, Claude. You've blown up. You're viral around the world now. So there you go. There you go. But
we're in 26 different countries now.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and I want to talk about that. That's a topic that I want to talk to you about. You've got a massive social media presence, and you use it to your advantage, and you use it for marketing, for reaching out to people, and you've got a unique style. Thank you. You've carved yourself out a way to have inbound stuff coming, and believe it or not, you actually use the telephone, and you get on the telephone with people. Yep, and we'll talk about that because, you know, you've got a lot of trainings on how to be good on the phone and how to be good in sales. So, but first, Claude, can you give us a bit of the backstory of Claude Diamond? People that know you on YouTube and that would know a little bit about you, but for any listeners and viewers that are new, tell us about the man, the myth, the legend.
I'm just a kid from New York City, born of immigrant parents. Everybody had to work at Dad's grocery store in New York City. The foundation was to get a good education, go to college, and I discovered I'm a horrible employee. I don't like working for other people. It's not in my nature. I have a degree in business. I have a doctorate in law, JD. I got tired of working for corporate America. I got real estate fever, like we've all had. I fell in love with it in my 20s. And I went to every guru and every seminar and bought all the books, like all of us do. And I did a few deals, but it was hard, and I wasn't making any. Bottom line is, I wasn't making any money because I was supporting my tenants' way of life. They weren't paying me on time, or I wasn't getting enough money to make a profit, and I just couldn't figure out what was wrong. And I did one thing really smart. I got a mentor. I met this one gentleman, and he was just a genius in real estate and, more importantly, sales, communication, persuasion, influence, and he'd make more money. I told you this yesterday when we were doing the kind of the pre-interview. I saw him make more money in one phone call than I made in a whole year in a corporate job. And that just was my epiphany, my revelation moment. And I realized the thing I was doing wrong that nobody was talking about was how to have good adult to adult conversations, how to sell, how to be a great salesperson. And I looked back, and all the companies and all the different business opportunities I ever got into, there was always those 1%ers. They made 10, 100 times more money than everyone else. They always got the awards and the free trips. And what was it they were doing that everybody else was not doing? You know, me, I was getting, I'll think about it, and call me in 2 weeks. And basically, I was a free consultant. And make a long story short, I had a great mentor. Everybody should have a good mentor. A mentor who's accountable and successful and not a big BSer. Okay. I mean, someone who's really doing it well and doing it honestly. And yep. I was so fortunate. After all that education and all that money spent, I found one guy who taught me how to give good phone. And everything in my, I had days in my life where I'd get up at 2 a.m. and say, how am I going to pay the rent? I understand people struggle with money and
Yeah.
prosperity.
Yeah.
I've been, and this one guy taught me how to sell, and everything changed.
Yep.
And today, this is my mission in life, because I mentor people. I want to teach people to avoid the dumb stuff I did and copy or do what I'm doing, giving good phone, knowing how to ask questions, understanding the psychology, the behavior of the prospect. They're not bad people. They're just they're inundated by bad salespeople who use the same old tired script and language. I'm sorry, was that a longer answer than you wanted?
No, no,
Maybe.
no. That's fantastic, and I love your honesty, Claude, and the point that you struggled when you started off. You had to go
Yeah.
through all the things, and that is a theme that comes through to find a good mentor. And the question from that I'd ask you, Claude, is someone that's new, that's listening or watching, is going, well, there's so many mentors. How do I find a good one? So, what would your advice be to them?
Accountability. I don't go for this. You go to a web page, for instance, for a mentor or a program or a coach or something like that, and they tell you how great they are, and it scrolls on and on forever, and then they ask you for your personal information. Okay, and if they do, most of them don't have a phone number, which really ticks me off, because I believe anybody can go to my web page, and my phone number is always there. Anybody can call me personally. In fact, in all my videos, they say, call me, I answer my own phone. So look for accountability. If you say you want to be a mentor or coach or a consultant, and you want my hard-earned shekels, okay, then be accountable. So can I speak to that person, or am I going to speak to a VA, a virtual assistant in the Philippines?
Yep.
Okay, so that's the first thing. Next thing is, are they successful in their own right? Okay, my mentor used to always say, success and failure always leave clues. If you're getting a mentor who's driving this is going to sound very maybe a little tacky, but if you got a mentor who's not living in a nice place and has his own money problems and is driving a 38-year-old pickup truck with rust on it, maybe that's not a person who's going to take you to the financial place you want to be. So if you want to be a winner, work with someone who's financially a winner.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, that's possible. It's got to be that way. And then, are they doing business honestly and ethically?
Mm.
Okay, I'm really big on this. Don't tell me to do something in a gray area or something like that. Give it to me straight and tell me I want to stay on the right. I don't want problems in life.
Mm.
So accountability is number one. Honesty, and are they successful in their own right? And you've got to I want to see them face to face on Zoom or FaceTime or Skype or whatever whatever medium is available. I want a face to face. I don't want to talk to their assistants and their phone room.
Yep. So
okay, so I'm real big on the accountability thing. Anybody I work with, they work with me.
Yep.
They can call me for emergency calls, private calls, or group training, but they're getting their Uncle Claude, not some assistant who's getting paid $18 an hour.
Yeah. So you need the accessibility too. You want to be working with the person that's done the ad that says that you're going to work with them. So yeah, that's a great point too. Is there comes times during mentorships that where you need to reach out. You have to be able to get them, and you need to be able to get that crucial bit of information as you go. So, yeah, definitely. So, and do your due diligence. It's up to you, isn't it, to scroll through everything and make sure that you found the right person. Yeah, definitely.
Somebody asks me for references. I love it.
Yep.
Okay. In fact, let's do. The name of my system is the Gut Sales Method. Great, untraditional, unorthodox techniques of sales. Ask me one of my favorite role plays. Do you like doing role plays, Graham?
Only with Claude, Uncle Claude, because they're fun. Because they're fun.
Ask me for references for business.
Yeah.
Deal. Go ahead.
G'day, Claude. I've heard a bit about you. Have you got any references? Have you worked with anyone that you can?
What a great question. Oh, thank you. Graham, thank you for asking that. I wish more people would do that. That is wonderful. What kind of references would you like? Would you like speak to existing customers, past customers? What is it what is it you're exactly looking for? And how many would you like?
Just someone you've done business with that you've done a deal like, my property. If I could just talk to someone to verify that you're the real deal.
Would you like 5, 10, 15 people, personal numbers?
2 or 3, yeah, that'd be good.
I'm going to send you 5 because sometimes people are busy or not available. I'm also going to give you my A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau. If you want to call my attorney or banker or anybody else, or speak to my wife and kids if you want. But I'll give you my personal business references. If they meet when I send that to you today. Now watch this next part off the rope. Watch this next part. This is how you close somebody when they ask when a prospect asks for a stall, an objection, or something from you. You can turn this around and instantly close them, as I'm going to do right now. Graham, I'm going to send all this to you today. And what happens if they meet with your full satisfaction about my veracity, the way I do business, honestly and ethically? What happens at 4:30 today when we speak again on Zoom?
Well, if you check out and everything, and you say what we've spoken about, I'm ready to go now. And you've given me the figures and everything. The figures look good. So if I can just verify that, Claude, I'm ready to go.
Boom. So you see, and this is just a little insight on my gut sales method. Stalls and objections are opportunity, and questions. These are all opportunities to instantly get up the yes ladder and get commitment, get closure. This is how I close people in one phone call. And I'm talking about properties, $1 million properties. I'm talking about my mentoring program. We get right to the point in adult to adult conversation. No tricks, no manipulation, just right to it. And you know, if you do want to find a mentor, absolutely ask for references and things like that. But be prepared, because your Uncle Claude here will also ask for something back. And we call that reciprocity. If I do this for you and I give you more than you expected, can you make a commitment to me? And if I listen carefully, because good sales is always about listening. If I listen and I say, well, and I hear the words maybe, probably, I have to speak to my significant other, I have to light a candle in church and pray to my pet rock, excuse me. If I hear that wishy-washy stuff, I know I'm dealing with someone who is not financially or doesn't have the authority to make a commitment right now. So boom, my little timer here. I know I'm not going to waste 45 minutes or get in my car and drive 2 hours in traffic or meet them and buy them a steak dinner or lattes, because they are not ready to make the commitment. And this is just working smart.
Yep. Being time efficient.
One phone call. Can you imagine closing a real estate deal, getting a commitment in the first phone call? Not this back and forth. I'll think about it. Send me information. Call me in 2 weeks. None of that jazz.
Mm. So someone that's fairly new, Claude, that comes into your guts program. Now, You would have seen this a million times. They're nervous. They hate talking on the phone. Mm-hmm. They're freaking out. How do you work through that, and with your experience, get them to be competent and confident after a period of time? What are your main things that you work on when you see someone come in like that?
Yeah, what a great question, because I think we all suffer from that. I hated sales. Truth be told, I hated sales. Why did I hate sales? Because of the rejection and the lying and the manipulation by the prospect. Because it's not that they were bad people, but they deal with salespeople. We're inundated by marketing and salespeople all the time. They all sound the same. They sound like beggars to me, in my opinion. Mm. So what happens? We're all enthusiastic. We got a new business. We're getting into real estate. We're real excited about lease purchasing or something. And we start knocking on doors and making phone calls and spend oodles of money on all kinds of marketing techniques. And then we get on the phone and we get this rejection. And I don't care who you are, that rejection sucks the energy, the positivity out of your being. And you'd rather go clean the toilet or something or take a nap than make those phone calls. But I got to tell you right now, if you're not speaking to at least 5 people a day, you're doomed to fail. You've got it. So how do we, if we know I have met so many people. I've been mentoring people for 32 years. And good people, nice people. They don't want to get rich to buy Lamborghinis. They just want to pay their bills and take care of their family. Okay. And they get it, and they're enthusiastic. They get into a program, and then they get on the phone and they get all that manipulation and rejection. They're doomed to fail. And I realized that nobody was teaching a sales system specifically in real estate, although I teach people now in many different businesses, financial services, network marketing, cars, dealerships. The gut sales method is a system I developed based on my studies and my experiences to make sales fun and to put it, give you a system so you know how to ask questions and get into an honest one-on-one dialogue with people.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Because if you're getting that rejection all day long, you're going to fail. You're going to quit. And that's just you. And I think that's just being honest about business. So my job is to practice with people, give them a system and practice with them a lot. We do group trainings a couple times every week, private trainings. I have great materials for my students, audio, video. I've written 9 books on sales and real estate, and I give them the right one-on-one practice. So it builds their confidence and they know the answers or to a question. A lot of times prospect will ask you a question. You asked me in that little role play we did for my references. I turned your question into first I stroked and nurtured you. Great question. And then I said, suppose for a moment or imagine I could give you all these references. What would you say to me next? We have to learn to turn a question into a question so that we get information and commitment and have an enjoyable experience. Say, I'm never going to, I could have retired 15 years ago. I've made more money than I'll ever need. But the one thing is, I love this stuff now. It's so much fun. I meet people all over the world, and I love teaching people that if you can learn how to persuade, how to converse with other people, be the doctor in the room. What does your doctor do? Graham, when you go to your doctor, what does he or she say to you first thing when you walk into the examination room?
You're a mess. You're a hell of a mess, Graham. You need to get.
Oh, I hope your doctor doesn't say that.
What's the problem?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Where does it hurt? Booby, where does it hurt?
Yeah.
Right? And tell me about why are you in here? And you don't mind him asking that or her those questions because they're trying to remove the pain from you. The physical pain. The doctor doesn't go, hi, we're having a special on arthroscopic knee surgery today, and the price goes up on Friday. You don't want to talk to a doctor like that or a salesperson. You want somebody who you feel is empathetic. They know what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and they want to help you find solutions to your problem. I work with people who are buying, selling, investing, realtors. They have problems in real estate. My job is to help them solve it with the gut sales and success method.
Yeah, there's some ripper points in there. We call them thunderbolts instead of gold nuggets. And you're right. You're trying to help someone that's got a problem, that's got a pain. They're needing a solution. And if, like you said, if you can get on the level with them and actually have a real, like you said, adult conversation and say, look, this is what I can provide. It doesn't have to get any more complex than that, does it? Just got to keep it simple. And like you said, if they're not ready, you can go back, follow up and talk to them down the track and say, but like you said, Claude, you need to find that out straight away, because I've actually seen one of your YouTube videos where you've said, you drove 3 hours up, and it was a real turning point because it was a day trip, and then you thought it was going to be a deal, and then the people turned around and said, oh, we need to think about it. So you actually said that was a real turning point for you, and from that point on, the egg timer come out. And you really switched on to look in that amount of time. If we can't, at least talk about doing business or see that in the future, I'll let you go, and then maybe I'll follow up with you down the track. So awesome points. That is amazing stuff. And I encourage anyone to go and watch Claude on YouTube because he's got a heap of phone calls. And what I love, Claude, is you keep it fun, you keep it interesting, you do patent interrupts. I've never seen anything like it. And like you said, it's got to be fun. If you enjoy what you're doing with work, you never have to work another day in your life because you're having fun.
Yeah. The thing about it is, once you master the art and science of persuasion and influence with a simple 3 little step system, I have like a little staircase: agenda to qualification to commitment to close. 3 steps. And you're just doing what the doctor would do. Hey, Graham, why are you trying to buy a property? Why are you having trouble selling this property? Well, would you like to invest in a property that gives you an 18% return? Imagine for a moment we could help you solve that. You wouldn't want to move forward today, would you? Do you have that in your budget? Is this a timely matter? Is this something you want to do now? Do you have the authority to make a commitment, sign contracts today? And we set up the whole agenda up front. I even tell somebody, I do something that nobody else does. I tell the prospect up front, would you please do me a favor and fire me at the end of this conversation? I don't want you to make a decision based on pressure. You don't have to say you'll think about it when you really mean no. Would you just tell me to get lost? We're still friends. I'm going to send you a gift and it's over. Is that all right with you, sir? And why do you think I do that?
Well, because you're letting them know that it's their decision, and if there's any hesitation, you'll go. You don't want to. You just.
I'm not here to sell you. I'm not here to make you buy something you don't need, can't afford, or don't want. I'm here to help you solve a problem and give you unbelievable accountability and value. Okay. Most people in sales just sell intellectually. They read a script. Hi there, Graham. I'm calling you today to just reach out, and they know right away in the first 3 seconds, they know you're a salesperson, and it goes downhill from there. They reject you, or they pick your brain for free, or they manipulate you, or they're rude to you. You cannot, that's no fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You've got to have a system, not only for persuading and conversing with other people, but also for marketing. I only work with warm leads. I don't do, there's nothing wrong with cold calling, but I convert all cold calls to warm calls, or my marketing method. You mentioned YouTube. I get leads every day from really great leads, nice people. I don't close everybody, of course not, but I get great leads. I call it attraction marketing.
Yeah.
And I use the gut system in the attraction marketing. In fact, I have a new package coming out later this summer, just on how to generate leads. I even get paid for my leads through Google, through YouTube.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's another good point, Claude, is they're better conversations to have if they're warm leads and they're people that want to sell, and rather than just hitting people in their house that are saying, well, I've been here for 35 years, they don't know they're on a list because they've paid the house off, or they're free and clear. So that's a great point. They're a lot better conversations to have. So if you can work out a channel that you're talking to people that are warm, and the old thing for practice a lot of people use is ringing up for sale by owners because they're selling their house. So it's a better conversation. You're not getting cussed out straight away, and it's a good way to build up, a bit of phone skill. So now, not only do you have fun, Claude, with your your clients, the people that are selling, you have fun with your students. Now, there's the legendary Beer with Claude. Beer with Claude, you have a Zoom call. Everyone, brings on their beer, and you make it fun. And I've watched a few of those. Same thing, Claude. You want people to be comfortable while they're learning.
I like beer.
Yeah, well, you like beer as well. I'm surprised there's not 150 Aussies on your Zoom call. Just not about real estate, but just to want to drink beer with you. So that's something that I thought, I thought there'd be more Aussies on here. But that's another thing, Claude. That's, everyone's enjoying himself. It's like a Friday night. Everyone's having a beer, and they talk about the brand of beer, and then you go into the training from there. So once again, you're creating an environment of warmth and a bit of friendship and a bit of fun.
Yeah. And we do that. We do that on Saturdays, live on YouTube or StreamYard, where we're in Twitter and Facebook and other social media and stuff like that. It's funny what you were saying before. When I call up someone, I might convert a cold. Would you like to learn maybe a little tidbit for your audience how to convert a cold call to a warm call very quickly?
Yeah, definitely.
Ring, ring, another role play. This is the way I teach, role play. I love teaching through role plays because it puts you, it helps you to practice. Ring, ring.
Ring, ring. Yeah, g'day, it's Graham.
Yeah, Graham, that home must have sold by now, right?
No. It's still on the market. Yeah.
Oh, why don't you keep it? How long you been in that home? 10, 15, 20 years?
Yeah, I've had it for about 20 years. Yeah, it's been.
Stay in another 20. You don't want to sell that home.
Look, we sort of want to move. We've got a job opportunity, and we're probably going to move out of state. So I really need to get rid of it, Claude.
Boom. What did you just give me on off the role play? What did you just give me on a silver platter in the first 30 seconds?
Well, I've just given you the reason why we need to sell the house. It hasn't sold, and
Yeah.
I need to sell it. And here's the reason.
Do you see the beauty of how I opened up? I opened up with a question, okay? And we call that a pattern interrupt. Pattern interrupts are psychological triggers to make you not sound like a salesperson and get that instant rejection. Pattern interrupts, and I have a mind map. If any of your listeners want it, I have a mind map with like 50 different pattern interrupts, ways of not sounding like a salesperson and getting the prospect off balance so that they respond to you and you can segue into a conversation. Instantly change a cold call into a lukewarm or warm call. And
Yep.
you did it beautifully. And that's exactly what it sounds like. You don't really want to sell that home, right? That was a little bit of also in psychology, in guts, we call it a redirection. I went negative. You don't want to sell that home, right? And you somewhere subconsciously, you said, yeah, I do. And you went positive. And you gave me all those reasons. And basically you told me how to sell you. So all I have to do is So Graham, if there was a way I could make you an offer so you and your family could get out of this home, get the money, move to your new place, your new location, and live happily. If we could do that today, you wouldn't want to move forward with, would you?
Well, Claude, if it all works out, and like I said, I need to move, and if it all works out and the figures look good, definitely that's what I'm looking to achieve.
I'd like to make you an offer, and I'll make you 2 or 3 different offers, and you can pick the one that serves your needs, and we can negotiate and put something together. Or you could say, Claude, get lost. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
I like
this
that, Claude, that you're not putting pressure on me.
Boom. No pressure, no stress. I told you in the first phone call, I always make offers. I make offers every day, by the way. And the reason people don't get successful financially in this business or any business is they don't get to the one thing. What does the prospect really want if they're selling something? They want offers. They want a serious dialogue. They don't want to hear about your history and your company and how wonderful they are. They don't want to hear all that stuff. They want to hear something that stimulates them emotionally. Sir, I'd like to make you an offer on your property today. Boom.
Yeah.
Now you're paying attention. You're listening to me, because how many people say that in the first minute?
Yeah, and I guess too, Claude, if they are tire kicking or whatever, they'll jump backwards and go, oh, hang on, this guy's a bit. So you'll find out either way whether it's whether it's a yes or no or a maybe straight away.
Yeah. And I do this technique, and this is only small. I'm giving you little tidbits here so your audience gets some value from this meeting today. But I do this with buyers, sellers, investors, realtors, brokers, everybody I speak to. I set an agenda, then I qualify through question and redirection, stroking and nurturing and empathy, all the different psychological techniques, even a little what we call from Milton Erickson, a little conversational hypnosis.
Yeah.
Okay, which is nobody teaches this. This will be out. This is we're having a major upgrade to my gut systems, gut 6.0, where we're going to insert. I actually studied and got a hypnotherapist certification because I realized that what my mentor was doing and what I've been doing is putting words and stories into the conversation that actually paints a picture in people's mind.
Yep.
What's your favorite Australian food?
Oh, favorite would have to be the old-fashioned pie or a Parmesan, which I don't know if you know what it is. A chicken Parmesan. That's the Aussie go-to one.
A chicken Parmesan, the Italian dish, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine? Do you like it breaded with some really nice, rich red sauce all over it, and there a little fresh ground Parmesan cheese? And do you ever see it comes in a ceramic dish, comes out of the oven, and the steam is coming off that? And can you smell it? And it's maybe bubbling a little bit still. And they give you this you like garlic bread on the side, a little nice baguette, fresh baguette. You can dip in the sauce and the crunch and everything. And then maybe a nice bottle of red wine to wash it all down. Nice, savory red. What am I doing to you right now? What's
Stop
in
it,
your
Claude.
life?
You have me at hello. You had me at a low. You had me at a low. I'm going down the pub now. I've got to get a Parma. I know. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, you're painting a picture to them what it looks like. Yeah.
And if we could do this in real, I do this all the time. And my gut system is very stealth. Most people will not see what I'm doing while I'm doing it, but I'm actually using the power of suggestion and putting in your head. I know because I'm drooling already. Thinking about just when we're talking about it.
Smell it. I can
You
smell
can
it.
smell it. You can taste it. You can feel the heat maybe on your tongue. Did you hear the sizzle when from the bubbling and everything? There was your mouth. Oh wow, that cheese and that veal and everything. Oh, and the crunch of the bread and the wash it down with the good one. And this is how you put an idea, a picture in someone's mind. And you can do this in real estate. Real estate is so emotional.
Yeah.
Okay, we sell emotionally more than intellectually with my gut system because people make immediate. The $1 million rule is people make immediate business decisions when you make them emotional. When I talk about the veal Parmesan or the fireplace or the kitchen with the good grandma's cooking and the turkey is the smell of the turkey and the gravy and the mashed potatoes and maybe you and your special lady are snuggling in front of that fireplace on a cold Australian night. What do you think I'm doing?
Yeah, and that's actually an awesome point because everyone would realise when there's an open for a house, someone's put an apple pie in the oven to get that smell in the cottage, and it's an old real estate trick. So what you're doing is on the phone, you're painting the same picture as that being
with
there,
words.
smelling
with
grandma's
words.
pie.
With words.
Yeah, yeah.
So we don't have to go to the house and put a pie in the oven. I can do this with words. The way I say the words I choose, the tonality, the speed and volume of the words. And I always end in a question. And these are techniques that they'll make you free the rest of your life. You're selling a good product or service or real estate. You have to sound different than your competition. Because what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, spending all this money on bad leads and not talking to people on the phone or getting rejection. Why do you think that's going to eventually work if it hasn't worked after days, weeks, months of trying it? It's insanity. We've got to sell differently, and we've got to put in the time and the practice to learn a system and practice with the skill sets so that we go to the bank.
Yeah, well, not only now do I want to buy a house, I want to go and watch a cooking show. So you got me on every level, Claude. Like as you said, it's a sensory overload, and because you're doing it over the phone, you need, like you said, you need to paint that picture with words and get people. And I guess it's like the car salesman tries to get you in the car so you can smell the car, you can drive the car, you can feel.
Yeah.
So you've got to paint that picture with words, and that's even more prevalent now because people are going virtual. They're talking to people in other states. They're talking to people all over the country. So you need to be able to give good phone. Like you say, you've got to be able to give good phone and make it an experience. And like you said, Claude, you're all over Zoom now. You've got Zoom now, so you can actually have a visual as well with people. So I know you're big on that. You love getting on Zoom calls and talking face-to-face with people. So
I have zoomclaude.com on all the time. Anybody can call my number or fetch me on Zoom unless I do all my training on Zoom and everything like that. The thing is, before we run out of time, I have basically my one rule is that you could take everything away from me: houses, cars, money, savings, everything. Strip me naked, but leave me healthy and leave me with a system of sales. And you get me to a phone, and I will be a 1%er, the top wage earners in my country in 30 days or less. Yep. And when you can say that, can you imagine what that does to your confidence? It's not about the accumulation of assets and wealth. It's the ability to know that you could lose it all tomorrow, but you could come back. If you can get to a phone and you have a good product or service to sell that gives people value, and you have that sales system, you'll be right back on top as really quickly again. Once you have that, you're free.
Yeah, that's an internal asset that you can always have, and that's what builds confidence too. And that's what I guess what you teach your students is once you've got that art form. And Claude, look, I'm obviously in Australia, and I've jumped into the US stuff, and it's virtual. One of the main things I see is you've got to give good phone because it's such an important part of the business. You've got to talk to people, and you can't. It's got to be enjoyable, like you said. So, it's amazing. I think you can do all the marketing, you can do all this and that, but if you can't get on the phone and talk to someone, that is the number one thing of the business.
We have lost that skill.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's all the texting, all the emails. We have lost the ability to communicate, direct selling, one-on-one with people.
Yeah.
I can start a conversation. I test myself. I give my students assignments. I want you to go to a Walmart or a Starbucks or go in the supermarket, and I start a conversation with somebody online. Can you start a conversation with somebody that is non-threatening? You're not invading their space, but it's friendly. It makes them smile, makes them laugh, makes them like you. Once you have that secret superpower, you become a very dangerous person, and you have the ability for unlimited wealth.
Yep.
It's and this is what nobody taught me this. All the seminars, all the college, everything I went to, nobody said how to give good phone, how to talk to people, how to persuade and influence them. It's a science, and it's also an art form, which is why you got to practice it all the time. Yeah, I can take any objection and turn it into a closing opportunity. I don't even let people say I'll think about it. Go ahead.
I've seen this. Listen, Claude, I've got a lot going on. I've got to think about it, mate.
You're not allowed to, Graham. Sorry.
I'm not allowed to.
You're not allowed to. I didn't stutter, did I?
No, you didn't.
You're not mad at me
minutes?
anymore.
Can I have 10 minutes? I've got an egg timer here. Can I have 5 minutes?
5 minutes for?
I've got to pray to me pet rock. So am I allowed to do that?
No, you're not, sir. You know what? You came to me with a problem. We've had a great conversation, but usually, can I be totally transparent? Is that all right?
Yep, definitely.
Can I tell you the truth, or should I sugarcoat this before I go?
I don't know if I can handle the truth, but give it a go. Give it a go.
Jack Nicholson said that in that one movie. The thing about it, sir, is when people tell me they need to think about it, what they're doing is being polite. They're sparing my feelings. You really mean to say no. And I think, remember what I told you in the beginning, it's okay to fire me. If at this point, if you need to think about it, let's just say it's over. Is that all right?
Look, with my particular attachment style, I don't want it to be over. Can we have another call, Claude?
Well, you know what? I've made a decision. If you can't make a decision, I would love to do business with you today. But is the reason we're not making a commitment or moving forward today? It couldn't be the money issue, could it?
No, it's not you, Claude. It's me. It's me. I'm a bit, I've had a lot of people hit me, and I'm just a bit freaked out.
If money wasn't an issue, let's forget about money. Let's just take it out of the entire equation. If money wasn't an issue, would you want to buy my home? Would you want to buy my package, buy my service? If money wasn't an issue, forget about it.
Yeah,
you wouldn't want to move.
Out of all the people I've spoken to, you've been the most upfront and you've been the most honest. So I really appreciate that. So if we could go up another 10K or something like that, I'd probably go with you, Claude, because you've been upfront and honest. The other people have been salesy with me.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that with me. I appreciate that stroke. If we can solve the 10K problem, maybe arrange some financing or something, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
We couldn't move forward together, right?
Can you do that? Can you? Can you do that?
Let's pretend I could do that right now. Right. What would you say to me next?
I'd say it's looking a bit. Yeah, I think we could come to some arrangement.
I'm sorry, my hearing aid battery fell out. What did you say?
Yeah, look, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
You guess or you know?
All right, it must be me Aussie slang here. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I know we could do business. If you can sort that out for me, we could do business.
That's a yes. Is that a yes, sir? I'm just to be sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Boom. That was a great role play. Round of applause to you, Graham, because you gave me every wishy-washy answer You said nice things. The salesman, the amateur salesperson, he hears, yes, I got a sale. And he gets all emotional and happy and everything. I didn't get a commitment to you until we did about 3 or 4 times back and forth. Okay.
Yeah, I had nowhere to go. I felt like you had me in the corner. I was covering up. You had me in the corner, Claude, and I was still thinking about Parmesan. I'm just like, yeah, I could smell it, and I got confused. But yeah, I see the way you do that. Just a little push, and then I guess if someone says a negative answer, you say, listen, you can fire me, you can do that. So yeah, and that's you're a pro, and this is what you teach your students.
I love doing this. I love teaching this. Even if I don't get the sale or I get a new client, I want people to know there's such a better way in your own business, because I don't think a lot of your clients, a lot of people listen to your podcast, they are solopreneurs, kitchen table millionaires.
Yep.
And I got to tell them, just this is a big takeaway right now. Focus. See, everybody works on all the guru stuff, the macro. Oh, you got to get VAs, you got to get the CRMs, you got to get this computer, you got to get this, you got to buy leads. And the one thing you should work on I'll guarantee your success. If you can speak using some of the things we demonstrated today, if you can speak to 5 people or more every day, I guarantee you will find the success you deserve.
Yep. And you'll get better as you go, won't you?
Yeah. And you'll get more as you get better, you're going to get more sales. And guess what happens when you get more sales? You get more confidence.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can't, and listen, I can have you walk on hot coals or chant your mantra in the bathroom mirror all day long. That's not going to that's not going to put mac and cheese on your table.
Yep. Yep.
You've got to experience and have success. That means going to the bank. When I make money, I'm like a kid in a candy store with $20 in my. When I make a sale, I am 2 feet above the ground. To me, it is addictive. I run upstairs to my wife, honey. We just did that deal. We just got that $1 million property for $750,000, honey. And I'm like, it's so much fun to make money and that the tragedy is so many people, nobody's giving this message out there that it's all about persuasion.
Yep.
I have met people so smart, so well-intentioned. They work so hard. They only want to provide for their family, and they suffer and they have tremendous failure. And then they take it personally. What am I doing wrong? I did everything they told me to. And what it's really about is just making a connection, creating a memory in another human being. I'll shut up now. I'm sorry. I'm long-winded.
No, that is the great takeaway, and I'm probably pushing you over time. I know you've got things to do.
You're a great interviewer. I can't stop.
Well, I've got about 28 questions here that we didn't even get to, but that is the nuts and bolts, the guts of it. Is and this is what I picked up off you watching you, Claude. Is you've got to be able to get on the phone. You've got to be able to connect with people. It's a dying art, and the people that I know that do that are highly successful. So I couldn't agree more, and that's why I wanted to get you on. I think people need to hear this. There's a lot of bells and whistles out there, but keep it simple and get back down to basics. And that's what I love about you. You can get on the phone to you, and I'll tell the viewers and listeners, not that I'm trying to encourage this, but I actually friended Claude on Facebook, and next thing my phone rang and Claude was in my face, FaceTiming me, and I'm like, who does that? You know what I mean? That's what you do, Claude.
And look, I made a new friend in Australia. Now we have a place to stay when I come up.
Well, mate, you got to I say this to all my American friends: you come down here, I'll show you around. I know Melbourne like the back of my hand. So
I love talking to people. When I was a kid, you know what they used to tell me?
To shut up. You talk too much. I know that.
And now they pay.
Yeah. And like I said, Claude, you come down here, I'm taking you straight out to get a Parmesan. And a chicken Parmesan. So there we go. Or chicken jammy, we call it over here.
Don't you guys have those wonderful meat pies?
Still got the Aussie meat pies. Yeah, beautiful.
Good. What do they stuff inside those wonderful?
They put everything in it now. They bit of bacon, bit of cheese, bit of meat. Half a kangaroo. They just
you got that good Australian beer. That delicious.
Yeah, well, you'd love the beer over here.
Oh,
yeah. And Claude,
what are we doing to your audience right now?
Oh, everyone's going out for lunch. Everyone's starving. I mean, everyone's salivating at the mouth. They're going, were we talking about real estate? So great patent interrupt. Great patent interrupt. But,
yeah.
But Claude,
Putting
it's called the Thunder from Down Under podcast, and I'm sure the listeners can hear we've got a storm belting through here, and Claude is the ultimate professional. All he's done is thrown out thunderbolts for us, and there's some key points. So go back and listen to what Claude was saying. Really important key points, and the storm's coming back. So I'm going to let you go, Claude. I appreciate your time. It's always a pleasure. I encourage people to go and watch you on YouTube. I've got your contact number up on the screen there. So if you want to reach out to Claude, he will give you some good phone.
I'll give you a free. I'll give him a free. Can I give away? I never sell online or that stuff, but I love giving away my first book. It's a business novel about a guy who can't sell.
Yeah.
And he meets this mentor and he teaches him a system of sales and his life changes. It's a happily ever after ending. And this is for free to all your listeners if they go to my webpage or give me a call.
All right. Well, your number's there. Your webpage is there. www.claudediamond.com, www.zoomclaude.com if you want to jump on a Zoom. As Claude says, he's there 24/7. And I found out
I do sleep once. He
sleeps every now and then.
And I run 10 miles a day.
That's another thing, Claude. You keep yourself fit and you love what you do. And like you said, you do it because you love doing it. And I also encourage people to watch you on YouTube. There's a heap of great YouTube stuff where you're on the phone, and I love it. It's fun. Everything you've talked about is on there. So I want people who are listening and watching or watch it later on to go and check Claude out, because he is one of the guys that has still got the art form of being able to communicate with other human beings, and you've seen it here live. So I'll just we've got someone that said bloody Aussies in the chat. So we can't get enough of the Aussies. Beer, we could do a whole session on beer with Claude, but we've run out of time because Claude is a connoisseur. And Claude, thanks for coming on. I really want people to reach out to you. You're one of the guys that I followed all the way, and I've learned so much off you. And the penny drop with me is you've got to get on the phone and you've got to connect with people. So I just I appreciate all you're doing out there in the community, in the REI community, and all the people you're coaching, and just sharing the knowledge that you've learned over decades of like you said, you learned the hard way, and now you're the master, and you're sharing that with other people. So I really appreciate that, and it's always because I'm a Facebook friend, your lives come up, and I sneak in and have a look, and it's always fun. It's always fun.
Always fun. Thank you so much for inviting me. And
no worries.
What a fun interview. Is that the fastest 45 minutes you've ever spent?
That's what I mean. I could talk to you for 5 hours, but I know you're busy. I know that there's people lining up on your phone. They want to have good phone with you. So I'll let you go. And what I'll do is I will just, because we've had a belting storm through, we've had the one and only Claude Diamond, sorry. You have been thunderstruck. See you guys.
God, feels good too.
Yeah.